I'm here to contribute to the NFGeeks video challenge. I've got the list of questions right in front of me, so let's get started. Number 1, what is your type? I'm an INFP. 2, what are you primarily interested in? Visual arts. I'm majoring in film and art history. I'm interested in the historical side of the art history major, but predominantly the visual side. I kind of tacked it on after I was pretty much mostly done with my film track, so as to, I don't know, have something more to do. I just had a bunch of general credits that I still had to take, so I figured I should just put it towards a major. So that's what I'm doing with that. But yeah, visual arts. I don't know, it's always been that way. I see movies in real life, or I see real life as movies a lot. It's like the way that you can use visual representation to construct an opinion about the world. I think that's really cool, to be able to do that and to see the different ways that people do it. So yeah. Number 3, how do you relate to your temperament? I relate to it. Yes, positive, rather than negatively. I don't know. I guess, well, my temperament is supposed to be dominant introvert feeler, right? So that's a very strong part of my life, the introversion of my feelings, in the internalization of them. You know, I'm seeing everything, every action that people are doing around me, and I'm hearing everything they say and the inflections in their voices, and I use my expansive memory of like past personal interactions that I've been a part of or watched, and I use that as like a code for what I see in real life, and I interpret, what people are seeing and how they're judging different people based on the things they say, and so it leads me to internalize a lot of things that people say that might not be intended to be critical of me or critical in a negative way, but I take most things that people say in a critical negative light. I don't know if that's a good example of how I relate to temperament, because I'm not it's a very negative way to say it. I don't know, maybe I'm just gonna move on. What got you interested in MBTI? A friend of mine from a long time friend, who's all into psychology, introduced me to it like a while back, and I typed as an INFP, and I read the description, and I was like, yeah, that kind of sums me up, and I didn't really think anything of it beyond that, just reading it and being like, oh, that's cute, because it was like reading, the Aries horoscope, which is what I'm technically supposed to be as well, which, I don't know, before I got into the actual functions and learning more about that, which only happened maybe a couple weeks ago, I didn't really think anything of it, but when I started to get to the nuts and bolts, I realized that there was something behind it, and I don't know, it really affected the way I viewed the outside world, which was good. It affected the way I viewed the outside world in a good way, like I became more comfortable. I guess this is going on into question 5, how MBTI impacted my life. Because yeah, I was just kind of, the way that I got reinterested, was I was just kind of having a loner of a weekend, I guess, like a real downer weekend. Like I just couldn't stand my roommates, and I could stand them better than anybody else in the world, and it was like, well, if I can't even stand these guys, like, God, what's wrong with me? So I just started looking into introversion, and I got back to the MBTI, and I got back into it more. And that led me to here, where MBTI began to impact my life. Question 5. The way that it definitely most predominantly did that was with my confidence in my interactions with other people. It was when I started watching INFP videos on YouTube of other people who were my type, and seeing the similarities, and seeing them talk about having the same problems, or some of the same problems, or the essence of the same problems. And yeah, it just made me feel less alone in the world. I don't know, I guess that's kind of, I don't know if you can say it's cliche. It's just, a lot of people come here and then they say that, whatever. Show an object, book, possession, whatever you like to the camera. I'll just, here, my tripod, I've been without a tripod for a while. It's dead. My old one is, so I've been resting my camera atop what I will show you now, if I can slip it out without moving the camera, because it's in a box set. Oop. Here's one of them. It's a box set of The Lord of the Rings, and this is The Return of the King. It's the special extended edition, so it opens way out. It's huge. I think half the discs are scratched up though, so they don't even play. Which is just how much use I get out of them. Here, I'll show you something else. This is my cat. He actually loves me. He just likes to do his own thing most of the time. He doesn't let anybody else see it. So it's kind of like me. What are the greatest misconceptions about your type? I don't know, I guess I'm not really a big, really into the forums and stuff, so I don't, see misconceptions a lot, but, the generalizations, get to me. It's like, it's not necessarily that people express these feelings, but the way that INFPs are, I don't know, described, it's all the emphasis on, things that are really just preferences. And I think a lot of people forget that it's just preferences, sure, I'm a dominant feeler, and I have strong feelings, but it doesn't mean I'm incapable of rationality. I think I'm a very good rational thinker. That's, who am I to judge that? But, it's like you can't live in today's world without developing a rational side. Like, the reason that we've, as humans, have advanced to where we have is due to reason, so, to just say that, oh yeah, INFPs, nah, they're all touchy-feely and that, that kind of gets to me a little bit, I don't want to be just a description, a one-dimensional description, or whatever. What are the limitations you experience as your own type? The social limitations, honestly. Although those are the ones that are getting better. So yeah, the double doubting, second guessing the things I say and how I'm interpreted by people. I find it hardest most to get to know the people that I want to get to know the most, because I'm afraid of making a bad first impression that'll ruin my supposed one chance. Other limitations. I have trouble believing in myself, because I'm always second guessing myself and how my actions will be interpreted by others. And I always seem to assume that they'll be interpreted poorly, negatively, looked down upon, seen as, that I'll be seen as naive. Because I have so many more thoughts in my head than I am ever able to express. I see the picture so much more clearly when I simply think about the complexities of something, and I feel like I can really grasp it, and I can see all of the ifs and the buts and the what ifs and all those in my head. I can see them there, and it's like, God, I wish I could communicate it, but I just can't keep it all in my mind all at once because it's there and then it's kind of gone. So yeah, I feel like I have this brilliance inside of me that I can never pin down, that'll never actually get out fully or clearly or properly. What is your ultimate dream endeavor? I should have thought about this. My dream endeavor would be to amass enough wealth to not have to worry about wealth, such that I could focus entirely on my self-explorative side rather than the money-making, follow the system side. Yeah. And 10th question is supposed to be my question of choice. So, my question of choice will be, what kind of computer do I have? And the answer is a MacBook Pro.